Hello guys! This is again Drago42 together with the SciCraft crew. Hey guys!
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, so today we're here with a small group. We already tried with a bigger group, but had some technical issues. So yeah, we have to redo some stuff. But nonetheless, we want to show you something which we already have on the server for quite a while, and that's our passive mob farm. So you might remember we have the mushroom farm at spawn. And actually my cursor's been weird. Now it works.
Passive mobs, aka animals.
Yeah, so here we get all kinds of animals. And without further ado, let's go right to it. So yeah, we put a backup of the server on the 1.10 server, so this stuff still works. But we actually made this backup right before switching to 1.11. So yeah, the main server is now running on 1.11, but we still want to show you this stuff here. And we should arrive every second. There we go. So, you can already see a few mobs here while everyone's arriving. They keep falling off and ending up in a fiery pit. So in this pit we have a bunch of minecarts below, which pick up the drops. And on the other side we get some raw drops. There's some mobs dying on magma blocks. But I guess we start in the overworld when everyone's here and take a look at the actual farm. And here we are on Gnembon's Island.
Gnembon's Island, yeah. Nice and decorated, I have to say.
Oh yeah, it looks really great here. So if you're wondering why there's mycelium over there, it's not a mushroom biome, which means nothing can spawn on that. Well, no passive mobs.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's kind of spawn-proofed.
Yes, so we
Mycelium.
needed essentially spawn-proof all the grass in the area, and this small island I use mycelium, and in the main island I had to remove all the grass, but I thought I'll just leave the grass to some extent, so I used the astroturf. So essentially we have here dirt with green carpets.
And a little added benefit. Oh, someone picked up the carpet. So yeah, with a
Actual working auto
step,
jump.
yeah, a better step assist, which is not annoying as auto jump. And yeah, that way we can easily walk around here, at least in some places. And the actual farm is all the way down there, pretty much completely in the lowest sub-chunk, so we get the maximum efficiency of the spawning spaces. And yeah, should we head right down?
Sure.
Okay, the server is a bit laggy, unfortunately, which is due to all the water updates.
And also the animals going through the portals.
Oh yeah, that also adds to
Skeletons?
it.
That shouldn't happen.
We shouldn't have skeletons here, but oh well. Happens. Anyways, so Gnembon, you want to tell us something about the farm?
Yes, so the farm is only in the lowest subchunk, so all the spawning spaces are below Y14. The topmost spawning space is at Y14 when there is no water, which means that animals has all the spawn attempts are squeezed within the area, whereas the farm and the bedrock below it. So we have here 4 spawning layers, and the essentially mobs are flashed every 20 seconds into the portals, and the clock is manually synchronized. So at the beginning the farm is off, and then you just have to look at your F3 screen, and if you see that the mob...
Oh, that was close.
That's interesting.
Where did that one come from? Huh.
And,
okay,
and essentially, okay. So
I know where they come from. You get teleported to 0-0 whenever you go through a nether portal or log in, right? Maybe.
Oh, good.
You had a high mob cap
Oh, well.
because of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially, whenever you see on the F3 screen that the number of mobs basically suddenly rises, this is an indication that this essentially was a passive spawn cycle, and then you have to flick the lever up top near the balloon, near the FK balloon, and then you will be able to essentially start the farm at the optimal moment.
So at the moment we see the entry count is quite low, and now it was rising a bit.
So
And they should be
essentially,
flushed
the
off.
farm, and the reason why we do it is because the mob cap of passive mobs is only 10 animals, and this farm spawns on average 16 animals per cycle, which means that after one cycle we would essentially exceed the mob cap by 60%, which will essentially prevent all the mobs from spawning. So by aligning the farm to the cycle, we are actually allowed to spawn over the mob cap each time.
Yep. So the farm is of course quite efficient, given its size. It's actually not that large.
Yeah.
Also, like the portals here, they of course exceed the lowest sub-chunk, but it's really only for this one block wide trench here. And the height map is actually calculated per block, so this is not a big issue. It's
Exactly.
no longer like a per chunk value as it was in 1.7 and earlier with the LC value. So yeah, we could easily afford that and still have pretty high spawning rates.
Exactly. So this actually allows to have four spawning layers and don't worry too much about how you put the wiring and how you put the portals. Technically, you can have the portals up to Y14, and then the top spawning path should be a little bit shorter. But I measured that it essentially gives the same results, and this was essentially much easier to build. If you can see like the cross section of the farm is essentially repeating throughout, so it's actually really fast to build farm. Took me only 2 evenings to put it together, and I used 12,000 dirt to essentially build
Well,
it.
that's quite a lot, and probably
That's-
the main effort.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
building
90%.
After you have the perimeter, of course.
that was the only resource I actually ran out of, dirt.
Yeah, at the bottom
So
we
it's
can
not
also
dirt cheap,
see.
but dirt expensive.
Yeah.
So at the bottom we can
Some
also see a
sense.
nice detail. Gnembon marked the biomes. So the blue spot is a
Yeah.
river biome, and the green ones is a plains biome. So in the plains biome we get additional horse spawning, which we don't get in the river biome. So you
Exactly.
pick
Sorry,
this.
in the river biome we actually don't get anything. In the river biome, no passive mobs would be able to spawn. Same with the beach. So the like almost all the spawning spaces in the farm, except for maybe a few, are all in the plains biome, and there is a river that actually essentially crosses through the farm. So I made sure that I have the wiring on that river, where the river is.
Yeah, so I think we only have a very few spots that are actually in a river, so that are kind of lost.
Exactly.
So
Everything.
what kind of animals do we get here?
So we get horses, sheep, chicken, cows, pigs. We don't get rabbit. When I was starting building this farm, we would still get rabbit in 1.8, but they removed rabbits from plains for some reason. So we get 250 horses per hour and 2,600 animals in total. And in terms of drops, it's 5,700 drops per hour, which is almost 2 double chests. So if like we will see, so like we've seen a little bit a glimpse of what's on the nether side. So essentially, a 24-hour AFK session would give you about 50 double chests of goodies from this farm.
Okay, yeah, that should keep the server fed for a while.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
we are no longer restricted to steak, of course, since we also have pigs and sheep and everything in here. So we can choose a bit from what we want to eat. Here's a small elevator to get back on top, a bit hidden. And yeah, I mean, gnembon also put quite some effort into the design around here. So some coal veins, we've seen some diamond caves and redstone caves. Those look pretty cool, I think. Especially this like strong coal vein. I wish one could
Yeah.
see that in normal Minecraft.
Yeah, so essentially,
Pretty cool.
this is more like the coal veins actually appear in the real world, basically where they actually go across a larger area. And
Yeah.
I actually put it around the abandoned mine shafts that were here originally, which I revamped as well a little bit.
Yeah, so all in all, this looks
Really
cool.
fancy.
Also, the balloon looks nice, and well, the balloon actually has one special property, namely that
Exactly.
it's fully transparent.
It doesn't
So-
look like, but it's fully transparent for the game engine.
Yeah, so even the hoppers there at the center and the anvils, they don't block any light at all. Like, they don't reduce the light level. And therefore they don't reduce the spawn rates in the area underneath. And also
Exactly.
the trapdoors here.
Yeah.
Pretty
So when the game, so when the game wants to spawn animals and spawn any mobs, it actually doesn't count this area where the balloon is at all, and the spawns all happen within the lowest subchunk where the farm is.
So yeah, was a bit restricted on the building materials here, but I think it turned out really great. Like, it's a pretty nice AFK spot here.
And also you can actually make it a little bit safer, Ragu, if you would come back for a moment, because you can open these basically trap doors, so you can actually prevent all the other mobs in case they actually want to path for some reason.
Ah, yeah, so if you miss out on a spot here which is maybe not lit up or not covered in carpet, you might get some hostile mobs, but that way you're actually safe.
Yeah. However, we are not actually having too many hostile mobs. I mean, this would be a pretty good slime farm, but we have a hostile mob switch running typically, and not that much slime has spawned in this farm because of that.
Yeah. So I think we've seen the overworld side.
Yes.
Maybe
There is
thing-
also the portal. There is also the third portal, which is, I think, an interesting touch, which is here. And I wonder if anybody would guess what this portal does.
Oh yeah, so we are not gonna spoil it. Leave a suggestion what you think that this portal is good for. So, as I mentioned, we have 3 groups of portals. One is the player portal over there. Then we have all the portals in the farm, and we have a third type of portal here. So, yeah, let's see who can guess it.
Okay.
But with that, let's head back to the Nether and see what's happening over there. Alright, we're back in the Nether, and just in time to see another wave of animals coming in. And as you can see, they automatically push each other out. Just, well, because they are spawning here and every couple of seconds new ones come in. And yeah, then we have these 2 sides we've already shown, like the magma blocks on one side. The magma blocks, they're technically not burning, but still taking damage. So they die, but we all get the raw drops. So as you can see it here, get some raw mutton. While on the other side, we have some fire on netherrack and some trapdoors in between. And inside all of this stuff here, there are some minecarts sitting, which suck up the drops immediately, so even the fire doesn't destroy them. And yeah, that way we get also the cooked beef, and cooked pork chops, and cooked mutton, and also cooked chicken, which we then store over here. Actually, cooked stuff is on the other side. So yeah, we get a bunch of leather, which we pretty much used for some other stuff. Then we have a ton of pork chops. It's pretty much always filled. Lots of beef.
Actually, each of the meats has actually a backlog of about AWS behind, because this is not a standard sorting system. This actually sorts vertically first and then puts stuff back into this 4 chests. So technically you can add more chests to it without increasing the height of this room.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, I think. So yeah, we still have something in the back. Basically, we store some more. Then some things don't get sorted. Every now and then, of course, something overflows or the sorters sometimes fail. So a little bit of stuff ends up here. So sometimes you have a skeleton or slime in there. Well, the slimes with a dedicated slot here. But yeah, those are just basically the junk items. But I thought it's nice to keep them anyways.
And the reason the sorters are fail is because this area also gets unloaded. Gnembon set up a hopper system to keep those chunks loaded, and basically every time an animal goes through the portal, the hopper loading grid will also be loaded, but there's the 45-second unload timer where all chunks would get unloaded. And this is where filters could fail.
And that's where all this and that's where all the hoppers typically cause all the issues like item duplication. It is probably connected to the same reason.
Yeah, so there are some weird things going on.
So maybe you could
but-
talk about the third portal now.
Well, we left that as an open question, so
Alright.
let's see who can figure it out.
That's cool.
I don't think we should spoil it right away.
Alright.
So yeah, then of course we have all the raw drops here. Pretty much the same thing. So mutton, beef, pork drops. Oops. Pressing escape faster than the game open suggests. Then we have a lot of white wool, of course. So white is just the most common color for sheep to spawn, while the other ones are much more rare.
We have other
And-
ones on the side.
Especially the pink wool.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Here we
Oh, we have one more
bit of
thing.
grey and yeah, we have a
So we
bit of
have-
pink wool. Like it's
Exactly. We have 44 pink wool, and the cool stuff does with these rates. This farm actually spawns 1.1 pink sheep per hour, which actually indicates how much time was actually kind of AFK'd on that farm. We have here 44 pink wool, which indicates that it's roughly 48 hours AFK'd in that farm. So it's not that long. It's only like 2 days of AFKing, and we have I think about 16 double chests of each meat, both cooked and uncooked.
But isn't there some
yeah,
wool
also
in the
some
filter?
yeah, I was just about to say.
I
Probably
added
be
this
AFK'd a
wool.
bit longer.
No, I added this wool just for the
Oh, the timer.
Be
Keep track.
accurate,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's like 2 days of AFKing and we are pretty much stocked. Of course, we've also a lot of feathers, all the drops you get from there. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of wasting some of the animals here, right? So some animals give us a bit of leather, but no meat, which is horses, and it would be kind of a waste to just let them die here. So we have a little area that was not shown yet, also not in gnembon's video.
Yeah, I call this area a mad scientist lab.
Yeah, so let's head down. So we're still in 1.10 with these nice and fancy translocators here. And here we go. Underneath everything there's a pretty large area. So, and everything's centered around this thing here. I guess we'll have to do some preparations to show this in action, and there, we'll be right back. Alright, we are back, and the portal has been lit. So, yeah, this is always a bit tricky. First of all, this portal here takes priority for the mobs coming from the farm in the overworld. And yeah, so by lighting this portal, basically the farm on top, or the part on top is deactivated. But the stuff here starts working. And this is a pretty interesting thing, and this is actually where we need some translocation. So this will be broken 111. But yeah, it's a pretty cool machine we have here. So as you can see, there are lots of horses in there. And all the other mobs get sorted. So there's a bit of mist magic going on, which sorts mobs based on their height. And if we take a look over here, then we can see that some areas here are on fire. So we get the cooked drops from the corresponding mobs. So like from this chicken we've just seen. While for some other mobs we might want raw drops. So there we have the magma blocks. And simply by flicking this lever here, we exchange it for a piece of netherrack. The dispenser in the back triggers a flint and steel. And we get the cooked drops. So yeah, this has a bit more flexibility of course than the thing on top. But as you might notice, there are only one wide shafts here. So we have sheep, cows, chicken, and we have pigs. But what about horses? And we've seen them on top. And the reason we have this little area here is because we can order horses on demand. So
Don't
no,
tell me
that was-
press the wrong button.
I think I did.
Oh no.
Too long ago. But shouldn't make a difference, right?
No, just killed all the horses.
The ones on top. No, they're still there. The kill button is.
What does this button do? Oh, here's a horse now.
I don't even remember.
Okay.
That's weird. Yeah, so this was some time ago. But still, so we get a horse from the top here. Grab some sugar. Yeah, typically this can be used pretty well with 2 players. Oh, let's get on top. Yeah. And we could put a saddle on it. Maybe Mango, you want to demonstrate how to get one again?
Oh yeah.
Or someone else? So yeah, it's the button on the right here, of course.
Yeah, there's a minecart that picks up those horses and ejects it at the top.
Yeah, so maybe we can see it if I quickly get rid of that one. Yeah, there we go. So there's a horse coming in, being stored on the top. And do we get one? So if I press it again. Yep, it gets dispensed from the top here, so it just stands on top of these pistons. Those get a short pulse, so we sort of zero tick it out here. And we get another horse to tame and
Also,
test.
I also remember this redstone lamp here would turn back on again when you can press the button again, because if you spam it, then
Yeah.
cause
if-
trouble.
Yeah, because the minecart needs some time to get on top. We had some issues there, but
Yeah, we put a lot of redstone here in the back and I forgot half of it.
oh yeah, it's quite a mess, and we also sort of improved it over time when we noticed we need some additional functionality. And what would you do with a horse? Well, you can see if it jumps reasonably well. We have a bunch of testing stands down here, so well,
And also for the rough estimate.
made it for that stuff. But yeah, if we need a finer estimate, let's go a bit further. So notice we have here some parts which we have carpet on the bottom, some we don't. And yeah, with that we can, oops, that was a failed jump. We can pretty accurately test how high the horses would jump. So this would be slightly below 3 blocks. And it just makes it. So that one is a bit lower even. So let's go to the next. Still makes it easily. Let's try 3 1/4. Oh, just about. So next one would be something like this. And it doesn't make it anymore. So you can see this one jumps 3.25 blocks high. And yeah, the next thing like 3.3125 is already not possible anymore.
So here we have an accuracy of a 16th of a block. I also showed a system which is even twice as accurate, which uses a lot of entities and so on, but we saw that that's enough really for here.
Yeah, plus the other system requires the overworld, right?
Yeah, more or less, because we need to place the lily pads.
So yeah, that's a bit difficult. Then of course we also made some stables here for horses we want to keep. And some of them are pretty decent, pretty fast,
Yeah.
high jumpers.
Well, let's check out the system to measure the speed.
So fortunately I got one that's not super slow. And oh Mango, you got a slow one.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see the stand here is locked as soon as someone enters it. And after some time we should see-
12.55. So the accuracy is a 20th of a second or 1 game tick. So can't make it any more accurate.
And as soon as it's ready to be reset, the stuff opens. And I can take a try with this one. So yeah, the clock has a bit of a delay, but it still displays the correct time at the end.
Yeah, I made it 2 years ago. It's not the best clock, but it still works fine.
It works. And as you can see, 10.35. So about 2 seconds faster on, what is it, 100 blocks, I think?
It's 100 blocks exactly.
And then here we have a little horse translocator-ish thing, which just makes it a bit faster to get back, especially if you have a slow horse. But yeah, I mean, we also have a slow horse every now and then, or some other reason why we wouldn't want to keep a horse. Then we can just ride it in here, or maybe another one. Yeah, if you eject at the right time, it'll be rather fast. So yeah, we can just store them in here. But at some point it gets a bit cramped, right? So maybe we should empty it. And there they go. So if you listen carefully, you can hear them taking damage below, so they're just a bunch of magma blocks. And the nice thing is that the saddles we have on them, they automatically get recovered and they come back to this chest here. So maybe you can see one coming in. Yeah, there we go. One just came back, so we can immediately reuse them. Yeah, is there anything else? You can check what the fastest horses are
Yep.
we've got so far.
So we
Mango, I
checked
think you got
about 1,000 horses, and we got a really good one. So I put it over here. It has a speed of 7.15 per 100 meters. So it's really fast, you can see here. Yeah.
Whoa.
And due to the lag, you sit by.
Yep.
So yeah, since the farm is still running, it's a bit laggy to do all the water updates.
So of course you have
and
to
as you
ride
can
in a
see,
straight
it's
line,
really fast.
get the most accurate results.
So
And-
compared to the one we had before, this is incredibly fast.
Where did it go?
Oh, that was slower.
Oh,
it's
of
due to
course,
lag.
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
lag.
like, you have to
Yeah.
remember that you have to test it when the farm is off, and you don't have that many horses actually stored here in
Yeah.
the horse
Yeah, so
horse
that's
storage.
kind of the limiting factor
Yeah.
that we have to turn the farm off, because otherwise it would just be way too laggy to test this accurately. But you can still get an impression and maybe store a few horses and then test them more accurately once you have turned off the farm. Oh.
Because I think Mango also realized that if you have more than 50 horses, the server just because of being laggy because of those 50 horses makes the measurements not super accurate. So
Yeah,
And
you can have,
horses
like,
are
a tenth of a second. or
horses
so.
are also now controlled like player side. It's also changed in 1.9, I think. Before you would always run at the server side timings of the horse, but now it's like a player. You could run faster even if you have low TPS, which is the case now.
Yeah, so often we saw something which was much faster. Now we saw it was slower, but yeah, lag can make it pretty inaccurate. As you've just seen, like it indicated almost 1.5 or almost 2 seconds.
Yeah. Also,
difference.
if animals go through the portal, we get those lag spikes sometimes. So yeah.
Let's see
It's
what
like
that
this
one
time it
turns out
was
to be.
accurate. There was no lag spike in there.
It
Let's see.
takes a bit to update here.
Oh, too fast. No. Yeah,
6.15, that's a bit
that's
unrealistic.
not accurate.
Um,
But normally we just turn the passive mob farm off, and we have a lot of horses standing in there, and we just check them one by one.
Yeah.
So,
So
probably
that's
best
also
idea
one-
not to have the farm running.
110 that we don't see anyone riding the horse. Yeah, usual passenger bug.
Fixed
Which
in
is a bit
1.11.
annoying.
Yeah, but in 1.11, player like to disappear as well. Horses are fixed, players not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, every 2 minutes someone turns invisible.
Yeah. So this is all the machinery at the back here. Maybe I can try to get a quick glimpse. See all the animals go into one pen, and then yeah, we just sort them based on their height. And again, we also have translocation here, which is combined with the height requirement, so they can't fit through every case. Drop down, and there they go, all sorted into their respective chambers.
Also, we should mention that we get a lot of foals. They also get
Oh, yeah.
sorted out, and they're kept in this pen right here until they've grown up, and then they go into the chamber with the other horses. So we don't lose any foal.
Yeah, so takes quite some time for them, of course, to grow up, but it's still better than waiting for horses all the time. Because yeah, you can very quickly notice if a horse is really slow, and many of them are very slow. And yeah, then they just go into the garbage bin here. And you take the next one. So,
Did we mention that the drops also go to the storage system at the top?
no.
No.
But
So there's also a hopper line and an item elevator that goes into the storage we've seen at the beginning.
yeah, so everything ends up on top, and you don't have to come down here to pick up stuff. The only case where we really have to transport items down here, well, if we could still use this place, would be for the sugar, which we just take from our sugarcane farm. But yeah, this is not a big issue. I mean, you have to take a few trips, and yeah, then you're stocked.
I think we can also salvage most of the farm, and we just need to rebuild the horse sorting for 1.11. Maybe we won't sort every type of other mobs, but I guess we could rebuild it for 1.11. Shouldn't be that hard to get horses again.
Yeah, that's still possible, pretty much. Like the dispenser for the horses here, of course, has to change a bit and
Yeah.
various things, but all in all, this should still be possible to do. It's just a bit of work.
Oh yeah, the gas
Get it
are
running
to
again.
push out mobs that are stuck in the obsidian blocks. That happens sometimes.
Actually, we could just see it. Something taking damage and dying right now because it was a horse.
Oh yeah.
Oh
It's
well.
not perfect, but it helps.
Yeah, so they just give us a bit more efficiency on the mob side. So, with that, anything else? I don't think so. So,
That's it.
yeah, if I shown the last project from 1.10, as we said, we are by now on 1.11, and already made some pretty cool stuff there. But yeah, it's gonna take a bit of time until we can show something from 1.11. So with that, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.